Welcome to the ACE Project, brought to you by the Literacy.io team at Texas A&M University. I'm your host, Ashley Stack, also known as Captain Comprehension. We are so excited you'll be joining us on this reading journey and hope you and your child enjoy this time together. So get comfy, rev up your brains, and get ready to think, because we are ready to help you become a comprehension detective.
Hi, Super Readers. My name is Captain Comprehension, and I am here to help you as you become a comprehension detective. Welcome to episode 44 of our podcast. This month, we're reading Too Many Tamales by Gary Soto. Have you ever made a mistake? A big mistake? Well, in our story, we are going to read about an experience a little girl named Maria has while making tamales with her mother for Christmas. An experience that she and her cousins will never forget. Listen closely to see what happens. Before we begin reading, let's go over some important vocabulary that will help us better understand the passage. Our first word is kneading. Kneading is when someone massages or squeezes dough together. A synonym, or word that means the same, would be pressing, and an antonym, or opposite, would be stirring. In Spanish, amasar. Next, we have the word confess. To confess means to tell the truth about something that you were hoping to hide. A synonym, or word that means the same, would be admit, and an antonym or opposite would be quiet, or keep secret. In Spanish, confesar. Lastly, we have the term masa. Masa is dough made from corn that's used to make tamales or tortillas. A synonym, or word that means the same, would be dough, and an antonym or opposite would be flour. In Spanish, it's masa. Alright, Super Readers, pause your videos. You can either scan the QR code or go to the URL on your page to open the Google form for you to answer the questions. What does the word confess mean? A. Admit. B. Quiet. C. Dough. D. Press. Which word is an antonym for the word kneading? A. Pressing. B. Admitting. C. Stirring. D. Making. Alright, Super Readers, it's time for us to read our story. I hope you enjoy Too Many Tamales. Snow drifted through the streets, and now that it was dusk, Christmas trees glittered in the windows. Maria moved her nose off the glass and came back to the counter. She was acting grown-up now, helping her mother make tamales. Their hands were sticky with masa. "That's very good," her mother said. Maria happily kneaded the masa. She felt grown up wearing her mother's apron. Her mom had even let her wear lipstick and perfume. "If only I could wear Mom's ring," she thought to herself. Maria's mother had placed her diamond ring on the kitchen counter. Maria loved that ring. She loved how it sparkled like their Christmas tree lights. When her mother left the kitchen to answer the phone, Maria couldn't help herself. She wiped her hands on the apron and looked back at the door. "I'll wear the ring for just a minute," she said to herself. The ring sparkled on her thumb. Maria returned to kneading the masa, her hands pumping up and down. On her thumb the ring disappeared and then reappeared in the sticky glob of dough. Her mother returned and took the bowl from her. "Go get your father for this part," she said. Then the three of them began to spread masa onto corn husks. Maria's father helped by plopping a spoonful of meat in the center and folding the husk. He then placed them in a large pot on the stove. They made 24 tamales as the windows grew white with delicious-smelling curls of steam. A few hours later, the family came over with armfuls of bright presents. Her grandparents, her uncle and aunt, and her cousins Dolores, Teresa, and Danny. Maria kissed everyone hello. Then she grabbed Dolores by the arm and took her upstairs to play, with the other cousins tagging along after them. They cut out pictures from the newspaper, pictures of toys they were hoping were wrapped and sitting underneath the Christmas tree. As Maria was snipping out a picture of a pearl necklace, A shock spread through her body. "The ring!" she screamed. Everyone stared at her. "What ring?" Dolores asked. Without answering, Maria ran to the kitchen. The steaming tamales lay piled on a platter. "The ring is inside of one of the tamales," she thought to herself. "It must have come off when I was kneading the masa." Dolores, Teresa, and Danny skidded into the kitchen behind her. "Help me!" Maria cried. They looked at each other. Danny piped up first. "What do you want us to do?" "Eat them," she said. "If you bite something hard, tell me." The four of them started eating. They ripped off the husks and bit into them. The first one was good, the second one pretty good, but by the third tamale, they were tired of the taste. "Keep eating," Maria scolded. Corn husks littered the floor. Their stomachs were stretched till they hurt, but the cousins kept eating until only one tamale remained on the plate. "That must be it," she said. "The ring must be in that one. We'll each take a bite. You first, Danny." Danny was the youngest, so he didn't argue. He took a bite. Nothing. Dolores took a bite. Nothing. Teresa took a big bite. Still nothing. It was Maria's turn. She took a deep breath and slowly, gently bit into the last mouthful of tamale. Nothing! "Didn't any of you bite something hard?" Maria asked. Danny frowned. "I think I swallowed something hard," he said. "Swallowed it!" Maria cried, her eyes big with worry. She looked inside his mouth. Teresa said, "I didn't bite into anything hard, but I think I'm sick." She held her stomach with both hands. Maria didn't dare look into Teresa's mouth. She wanted to throw herself onto the floor and cry. The ring was now in her cousin's throat, or worse, in his belly. How in the world could she tell her mother? "But I have to," she thought. She could feel tears pressing to get out as she walked into the living room where the grown-ups sat talking. They chattered so loudly that Maria didn't know how to interrupt. Finally, she tugged on her mother's sleeve. "What's the matter?" her mother asked. She took Maria's hand. "I did something wrong," Maria sobbed. "What?" her mother asked. Maria thought about the beautiful ring that was now sitting inside Danny's belly and got ready to confess. Then she gasped. The ring was on her mother's finger, bright as ever. "The ring!" Maria nearly screamed. Maria's mother scraped off a flake of dried masa. "You were playing with it," she said, smiling gently. "I wanted to wear it," Maria said, looking down at the rug. Then she told them all about how they'd eaten the tamales. Her mother moved the ring a little on her finger. It winked a silvery light. Maria looked up and Aunt Rosa winked at her, too. "Well, it looks like we all have to cook up another batch of tamales," Rosa said cheerfully. Maria held her full stomach as everyone filed into the kitchen, joking and laughing. At first she still felt like crying as she kneaded a bowl of masa next to Aunt Rosa. As she pumped her hands up and down, a leftover tear fell from her eyelashes into the bowl, and for just a second rested on her finger, sparkling like a jewel. Then Rosa nudged her with her elbow and said, "Hey, Niña, it's not so bad. Everyone knows that the second batch of tamales always tastes better than the first, right?" When Dolores, Teresa, and Danny heard that from the other side of the room, they let off a groan the size of 24 tamales. Then Maria couldn't help herself. She laughed, and pretty soon everyone else was laughing, including her mother. And when Maria put her hands back into the bowl of masa, the leftover tear was gone. Such a great story. So as we read, I hope you were thinking about the text structure of Too Many Tamales. I heard things like worry, disappeared, shock, hurt, better, and laughing. Use your text structure bookmarks to help you figure out the text structure for this passage. When you're ready, press play so you can input your answer. What is the text structure of the passage? A. Comparison. B. Cause and effect. C. Problem and solution. D. Cause, problem, and solution. All right, super readers, welcome back. Let's use what we've learned to write our main idea. I identified the text structure as being cause, problem, and solution. So let's use the sentence stems. The cause is, the problem is, the solution is. Pause your video and discuss this answer with your adult partners. When you're ready, press play to see what I wrote. All right, super readers, here's my main idea for the whole selection. The cause is Maria tries on her mother's ring while helping make tamales. The problem is Maria remembers the ring but cannot find it. The solution is Maria goes to confess her losing the ring and she sees it on her mother's finger. How does yours compare to mine? Remember, it doesn't have to be word for word as long as the ideas are the same. Okay, super readers, let's use what we've learned to answer a multiple choice main idea question, kind of like those that we'll see on our standardized tests. What is the best main idea for the selection? A. Maria tries on her mother's ring while she is away, but when her mother returns, she gets in trouble and has to go to her room. B. Because Maria kept eating tamales, her stomach hurt really bad, and her mother let her wear her diamond ring to get her mind off the pain. C. Maria hoped to help her mother make tamales in the kitchen this Christmas so that she could feel more grown up. Or D. Maria thinks she lost her mother's ring after trying it on without permission. When she goes to tell her mother, Maria sees the ring on her hand. All right, super readers, it's time for us to extend our main idea in order to write a summary. So let's think back to what we wrote for the cause, the problem, and the solution. The cause is Maria tries on her mother's ring while helping make tamales. The problem is Maria remembers the ring but cannot find it. The solution is Maria goes to confess her losing the ring and sees it on her mother's finger. All right, let's think about some details that we can add to each part. Details for the cause, details for the problem, and details for the solution. Pause your videos and discuss those with your adult partners. When you're ready, press play. Welcome back, super readers. Here's what I wrote for my summary. The cause is Maria tries on her mother's ring while helping make tamales. Maria forgets about the ring as she and her mother and father finish the plate of tamales. The problem is Maria remembers the ring but cannot find it. Maria and her cousins eat all of the tamales and her youngest cousin thinks he might have swallowed the ring. The solution is Maria goes to confess her losing the ring and she sees it on her mother's finger. Maria and her family work together to make another batch of tamales and eventually they laugh about the mistake. All right there, super readers. Let's answer a multiple choice summary question. Remember, we're looking for the answer choice that contains the cause, the problem, and the solution, plus a few added details. What is the best summary of the selection? A. Maria tries on her mother's ring while making tamales, but loses it when she washes her hands. Maria's mother calls her father to take apart the kitchen sink in order to get the ring back. B. Maria feels very grown up helping her mother make tamales. She gets to wear her mother's apron and even wear some lipstick and perfume. The only thing Maria does not have is her mother's ring. C. Maria thinks she's lost her mother's ring while making tamales. She and her cousins eat 24 tamales trying to find it, but it isn't until Maria goes to tell her mother that she finds the ring on her mother's finger. Maria's family make more tamales together. D. Maria forgets about her mother's ring until a picture from a magazine reminds her of it. She rushes back into the kitchen, only to find tamales. Her mother and father make more tamales and laugh about the ring. Pause your videos and send in your answer now. Welcome back, super readers. We have one last task to complete today. It's time for us to infer. Remember, when we infer, we take clues from what we read and add it to what we already know in order to make an inference or draw a conclusion. What can we infer? How does Maria's family help her feel better after making the mistake of misplacing the ring? How does Maria probably feel from helping her mom? How does Maria's family help her feel better after making the mistake of misplacing the ring? A. The family proceeds to go into the kitchen and make more tamales, laughing and joking that the second group of tamales is better. B. The family goes into the living room to play a game and decide to eat something other than the tamales since they took too long to make. C. Only Maria and her mother went back into the kitchen to make more tamales, and they found that there were some extra tamales in the cooler. D. Because Maria confessed she lost the ring, her family decided she should be punished, and they sent her to her room for the rest of the night. Pause your video and discuss the answer with your adult partner. How does Maria probably feel from helping her mom? A. Scared that the tamales won't come out right. B. Frustrated because she would rather be playing. C. Concerned her mother will get upset at her for making a mistake. D. Proud to be helping the grown-ups. Pause your videos and send in your answer now. You did such a great job today, Super Detectives. I always enjoy getting the chance to read with you. I hope that you enjoyed reading Too Many Tamales today, and I hope you're looking forward to the holiday season where you will hopefully eat a lot of tamales. Remember, we can all be super readers. This is Captain Comprehension, signing off.